Welcome back. Now with a look at your 5-day forecast, here's Pam Ball.
There's some rain moving in today. The good news is it should hold off until the evening hours. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Today is mainly sunny with a high of 11. We'll have a 60% chance of showers and will drop down to 2 degrees. Thursday, quite the same as today, but mainly cloudy with sunny breaks. There's a 60% chance of showers. We'll have a high of 11 and a low of 2. Friday, still a chance of active weather. We'll have a high of 6 and a low of 2. Saturday, there's more precipitation. It could be in the form of flurries or rain. We'll have a high of 4 and a low of 0. Sunday, cloudy with a high of 7 and a low of 0. With all the rain and gray clouds that we're expecting, today seems like a good day to get out and enjoy the sun. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Pam. And now turning to national and international news. Yesterday's midterm elections in the U.S. saw a big win for Republicans, while the Democratic Party retained some power in the Senate. The Republicans, as fueled by the Tea Party, took control of the House of Representatives, acquiring over 60 seats from the Democrats. Republicans in the red now have 239 seats. Only 218 seats were needed to win majority. Despite the House win for the grand old party, Democrats narrowly resumed majority in the Senate. And in California, residents voted against Proposition 19, a bill intended to legalize recreational marijuana.
A decision will be made today surrounding a $40 billion takeover deal of Potash Corporation. Federal Industry Minister Tony Clement is set to announce whether Ottawa will allow the proposed takeover of Saskatchewan's largest mining company by Australian-based BHP Billiton. Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall says he is against a foreign takeover, saying the province stands to lose around $3 billion in provincial revenues over the next 10 years. Potash has 6 mines in Saskatchewan and 1 in New Brunswick.
Overseas, Greece has implemented a 48-hour ban on outgoing mail today after 11 mail bombs were sent to embassies and foreign leaders in and outside of the country this week. Authorities say they are looking for 5 members of an extremist left-wing group thought to be responsible for the bombs. The anarchist group looks to stage an uprising in Greece amidst the country's economic crisis. 2 men have already been charged, and authorities say only minor injuries and damage were caused by the bombs.
The Iranian foreign minister says the fate of a woman accused of adultery and murder is still to be decided. Sakani Mohammadi Ashtiani was originally convicted for adultery in 2006 and sentenced to death by stoning. Reports also said the woman was later charged with the murder of her husband. Iran said in September the charge for adultery had been suspended, but Ashtiani may still be hanged. Governments in Canada and the United States say they are condemning the execution, calling on Iran to reform their human rights policies.
And now Scott Money will fill us in on what's happening in the wide world of sports.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Money. Here's what's going on in sports. Both the Hawks men's and women's soccer teams won gold in the OCAA championships over the weekend. The men came from behind to beat Sheridan 2-1, while the women defeated Fanshawe 3-0. Both teams head to the national championships in Edmonton next week. Women's midfielder Joanna Alexopoulos says she thinks they have an outstanding squad.
But this year, like every single player that came in was fantastic, and it was even hard sometimes to think of a starting lineup. And what was great was anybody could substitute for anybody.
Not only did the Hawks sweep the provincial championships, the Humber soccer program took home the OCAA Team of the Week honors in both the men's and women's category. In individual player awards, Marcello Capozzolo and Sonia Rocha were named the male and female athletes of the week for the roles they played in helping Humber capture double soccer gold. Capozzolo was rewarded for his play on defense, and Rocha was for her tremendous hustle and highlight reel goal she scored in the semifinals. Canada's women's national soccer team is undefeated at this year's CONCACAF tournament in Cancun, a tournament for North Central America and the Caribbean. With a commanding 3-0 victory over 22nd-ranked Mexico yesterday, Canada heads to the semifinals to face 47th-ranked Costa Rica. This game has tremendous meaning as the winner not only heads to the finals, but also automatically ensures a berth to the 2011 World Cup in Germany. In NHL action, the Maple Leafs are looking to bounce back tonight against Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals after a devastating loss last night to the provincial rivals Ottawa. Just when things couldn't get worse for the Buds, they'll be without captain Dion Phaneuf when they face off against the Caps. Phaneuf suffered a deep cut to his leg in last night's game when he fell awkwardly into the boards with the Senators forward. The Leafs are now 1-5-1 in their last 7 games. Puck drop goes at 7 p.m. in Washington. And in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors continue their West Coast swing tonight when they visit the Utah Jazz. The Jazz will try for their 11th straight win versus the Raps, who are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Sacramento Kings. The Raptors caved in the fourth quarter of that game, blowing a 16-point lead. The biggest surprise for the Raptors has been Reggie Evans. He's averaging 16 rebounds a game. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. That's it for sports. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Scott. After the break, Amy Douglas will have our entertainment update.
Coming up in entertainment, the Arcade Fire cancels in Portugal, CTV brings back E, and Game Show TV loses an icon. All that and more after the break.